got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough, you wanna hate this, I'll show you.
Yours isn't connected properly. Just click the yellow button, bottom button. Yep, leave it, don't touch it.
Now mine?
Yep.
Sweet, look at that. Presented by Power Beam Spotlights. With a sticker line around. Oh. Jake,
What's going on?
not too bad. I know we didn't film last week, but we filmed this week.
We said every fortnight at the moment. Like,
Did we?
At the worst. I did, yeah.
You did?
Squeezed it in, yep.
I thought you were like, nah man, it's got to be.
No, nah.
Okay, but we were waiting on some stuff last week that didn't arrive. We're still waiting on that a little bit. We're going to push into a different, hopefully next week.
Waiting on lots.
Waiting on lots of
Yeah.
stuff. But we've got some interesting stuff to
We've
talk
got
about.
some cool stuff.
Yeah. So, oh man, where do we start? Like, because we've got some really cool stuff at two totally different ends of the spectrum. Let's start with the D&Ts. Let's make them wait on this big box. So, D&T Thermite. We introduced these at SHOT Show last year.
Yep, little 225.
Yeah, the little 256. Yeah, so 256 sensor, low resolution sensor, which has been a smash hit on air rifles and rimfires. It gives you that low quality thermal, but with quite good
And night vision, you know.
night vision.
It's awesome.
And everyone started saying, when are we getting the 335 and when are we getting the 635?
I don't know when they're getting them, but we've got them.
We've got them. So right now we have got the same form factor in both. The 335, which is the 384 sensor and a 35mm lens. And we've got the 635, which is the 640 sensor in the 35mm lens too.
Yep.
Now, I haven't played with the 335, but I played with a little bit of that 635, and that is stunning.
It is really cool,
That is going to be unreal. Reckon retailing this is going to be about $5,000 Australian, but they've done some things to the body which is different as well. So they've upgraded some of these buttons.
Yeah, on the side there.
Yep, they've made the rangefinder smaller and tucked in a little bit.
Yep.
And they've actually made the zoom, it's a little bit more, so the zoom, how you zoom in these ones is by turning this throw lever here, right? Because on the other one, it's a little dial, and if you don't know it's there, you don't know it's there.
Yep.
So they've made it a little bit more obvious. Same detachable, removable IR light, so you can run either the
850 or the 940,
on here. Internal recording, the same, same really shitty design, running the battery in line with the barrel.
But what batteries?
Oh my gosh. Okay, it's an 87...
21700.
21700?
Yeah.
21700. 21700 flat top.
Yes.
So all the 21700 batteries we got are not flat top. So we're running these off power banks at the moment because trying to find the appropriate battery is being difficult.
Yeah.
And we touched on this when we spoke about the Falcons
2.0
and the Condor 2.0.
Yeah.
It's moving away from that readily available, everyone's got 18650 batteries, to a battery that's going to be more prominent apparently in the future, but at the moment it's impossible to find.
I mean, if they say it's going to be, more the future of batteries, then why give us a model that's got a button top and one that's got a flat top?
Well, because it's the future. I get all these spam calls all the time, and they're all scammers.
Yeah.
And I once had...
I don't call you that often, do I?
Only my day off. And I once had this guy ring up, and he's like, we've noticed errors on your website. And I said, no, they're not errors. And he's like, what do you mean? And I kept on the phone for about 20 minutes. I said, my web developer lives in the future. In 2 years' time, you're going to come back and this website's just going to be amazing, but the internet's just not ready for it, right? And he couldn't get his head around it. He's like, how do you communicate? Like, my email.
What, he was questioning it?
He was questioning it, right?
Oh, my
So,
God.
I was just taking the absolute mick out of him. So these are going to be fantastic in 2 years' time when you can get the batteries on the door, right? But that little 635, that is off its head.
Yeah. This is the only, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the only thermal with day vision and a rangefinder. Now, Pulsar do the duo, which is day vision and thermal, but no rangefinder.
Yes.
Is this the only model?
You've also got the PARD.
Oh, sorry, yeah, the
Landsat in the big one, in the 650, which I wasn't, that's not my favourite unit in the world. The Mini's okay in the 256, but it's kind of okay. The D&Ts have been fantastic. So this is the only one that I found so far that I've been happy with. But I'm really, really excited to throw this on my 308 and go harvesting with it.
Yeah.
Because I reckon to be able to get perfect identification of deer, but that it's a very, very crisp 640 sensor. Probably won't throw footage up on this.
Just yet.
On this Stockcast, because we need to get out a bit more, but we will talk about this one a little bit more in the future. But we are going to take pre-orders from them because we are expecting them kind of end of March, early mid-April type thing. We're going to meeting with D&T next week to figure out that timeline, but very, very exciting little units. Yeah, huge step up.
What's the 335 going to be priced at?
I don't know. I've not even turned the 335 on because I wasn't actually expecting to see this one. I was expecting to see the 635, and then they sent me the 335. I said, "Where's the 635?" And they said, "We'll have that to you on Monday." This was last week, and I haven't even turned the 335 on.
Oh,
so I don't know. I'd expect it to, if that's going to be priced at around 5,000 Australian dollars. I'd expect this to be around that $5,000
for thermal night vision.
I know.
Day
It's
vision.
insane value.
Rangefinder.
Image quality is fantastic. Now, let's talk about
the big one.
Insane image quality. Okay. What we got here is the brand new Rico. I'm just still going to call it the RS75. It's now called the S75R, but it's the Rico V2.
Correct.
From Nocpix.
Yep.
Used to be Infrared.
Mm-hmm.
So we had the Infrared RS75. Now we've got the Nocpix RS. Anyway, 1280, 60 hertz, 75mm lens, focal length on it.
3 base?
3 base magnification, up to 30 times magnification. Now, see Karen and saying goodbye to our cleaner. She didn't want to come and join us, but we wanted her to come and join us because she's part of our family. 3 base, up to 30 times magnification. Now, it comes in this beautiful hard case. Oh, let's get rid of the box for a second. All right, we'll be careful going down the stairs. She's also like our mum. She's fantastic. Not old enough to be our mum, but she's like our mum. All right, comes in this beautiful hard case that you see here with all the accessories, and this is the unit here. Now, I'm going to talk about a few design things they've done, which is different to the original RS75.
So just background, the original RS75 is the one from Infrared.
Was the one from Infrared. It did not have a rangefinder attached. It was the removable rangefinder.
Correct, yeah.
It had a very high, crappy mount that no one really liked. It didn't give you the eye relief. It was designed for the American market, so the mount was about this big, sat about that high. This is actually the lowest profile mount you could put on this, because if you ever look where the mount ends, it actually sits. That mount actually sits just below here. So on your varmint rifles, you're only going to just get clearance. On my Tiger Light, it's nice.
On your WTs, stuff like that.
On your
rails.
Correct, full-length rails on as well. So still got the recoil springs in it.
Yeah.
Now, I've got a theory on this, and if there's any mechanical engineers who could actually establish this to be correct or not, I got a feeling this needs the recoil rails, because my understanding of the way energy works, energy finds the path of least resistance. Okay, so under recoil, the rifle goes back, the scope wants to go forward. Okay, when you got rings,
a whole lot wants to go back.
Yeah, I don't, because the energy doesn't want to travel up the rings as much, right? So it's going to continue to travel through the rail more through the buttstock, where I think this is actually going to transport the energy into the scope a little bit easier, because the energy is going to run in a direct line.
How much energy do you, would you think, or actually let me rephrase that, how high caliber rifle do you think would have to be to get full effect out of the recoil spring?
Yeah, that's a good question. I wouldn't want to test it because it's a really tight spring. And
I'm sure they could do it. Look, there's a test. A simple test would be to take a video and see the recoil difference on the same rifle between rings and recoil spring.
Recoil spring. Yeah, we could do that. We've got a place to do that now.
Yes.
You just got to use a pencil to do the trigger, so there's nothing standing behind it. We'll see which one flies back the furthest. Right? No, but anyway. But it's a much, much better mount than the original RS75. Okay, they've redesigned this eye box.
That's huge.
Eye box is
that 35 mil?
Oh, it is so big, and your eye relief's about 10 feet. Like, you can stick your head behind it.
That's like 40 mil, I think.
It is a really, really beautifully designed eye box. This rivals the new Pulsar eye boxes. Yep. It is up there with the best eye boxes I've ever looked at. Zoom is controlled by this indexer here. And I'm going to overlay a little bit of a footage of a deer we didn't shoot, because you told me another one was coming.
Yeah.
And the 30 times optical zoom sorry, not optical, digital zoom.
Yeah.
At 200 meters.
Crisp.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
I've not seen anything like it. Right.
And I was running the same night. I was running the A60, so the baby brother.
Yeah.
And you can see the difference.
So this has their Vision Plus algorithms in it.
Yep.
Okay. The 640 version of this one doesn't. The 1280 version does.
Correct.
We're seeing those Vision Plus algorithms in the Quests.
Yep.
When we're zooming in, we're seeing how good
They're in the
quality.
Vista 1280s too, aren't they?
The Vista 1280s, you get that Vision Plus, which is an image boost type thing, but it automatically kicks in. It's not something you actually have to turn on. I haven't seen anything like it. Now, the 75mm lens is obviously going to generate tons of good quality image anyway, because it's a big lens, bigger the lens, better the photo, the picture. Nice little rangefinder tucked in on the side. We've got our focus up here, and we've got our 3 menu buttons here. So we've got record, change your color palette, activate.
It follows the recode line.
It follows the recode line. Okay. Charging is done either in the cradle or through here, and this is a dual port, so it's a magnetic USB.
And
or
USB-C.
It's USB-C because you can pop that open and USB-C. I had a customer who has the Rico V2 a couple of weeks ago. Oh, can you give me one of those cables? I said, what for? He said, I lost my cable and I can't connect it to my computer anymore. I'm like, just pop open the thing. He goes, you can do that? So, quick detach mount, which is returning to zero fine for me as well. And an accessory pick rail on here. I don't know what you're
little laser or something, I guess. I don't know.
Something. Now, you'd expect this to weigh a hell of a lot, wouldn't you?
Yes, because if you put it compared to,
well,
size-wise,
it is
a
hugely
big
different.
unit.
It is a big unit. Now, I weighed this, and I weighed my Nocpix.
Oh, you weighed the XL60?
The XL60, the Nocpix 1280.
Yep, the Ace.
The Ace.
Yep.
And this, okay? This is 100 grams lighter than the Ace.
Yep.
And it was about 40 grams heavier than the Pulsar,
XL60.
the XL60.
Yep.
It's not, for the size lens that you get out of this and its form factor, it is not.
It is huge.
It's not a real heavy unit.
Yeah.
It's and I didn't mind it. I mean, we were on foot a fair bit when we were out.
We didn't even know.
And I didn't even know. But I tell you what, this is...
But I guess you wouldn't have known because you had that mounted on a Nerf gun, didn't you?
I had it mounted on a Tika Light 308 in an MDT carbon fibre chassis. So I was taking all the weight out of it, and I only put 4 rounds in my 10-round steel magazine because I like to keep the weight out.
Shave it all off.
But no, I'm this. Now, the original version of this was 24,500 from memory, Australian dollars.
Yes.
Right? 14,000.
13.99.
13.99. It's 3,000. It's about 4,000 more than the
A60.
No, the A60's 10.5.
10.5.
So it's $2,500 more, 3,500, whatever the numbers are.
I don't know.
And
I work for you.
3,000 because it's 13.5. No, these are 14, aren't they? Anyhow, whatever it is, right? And it's a couple of grand more than the 60 versions we're seeing in the Hig Micro and the
correct,
and the Pulsar. Okay, but the benefit,
astronomical.
Man, I just want to go out and shoot. Now I can't wait to put this on my air rifle and shoot rats.
It's going to be very excessive.
It's not excessive. Once you already own it, there's no more excessiveness.
No,
it just is.
It's that, isn't it?
It is just that. It will take, because I've got my M3 up for sale in the shop for about 10 grand with the scope on it, with a Theos on it.
Yep.
But it's had all the work done on it. Imagine put that on it, it'd be like a $20,000 air rifle. Or close to.
It would be 20 on the dot.
It would be. We should do that.
Are you going to sell it already?
No, I'm never selling this one. Not until I get something better. Smooth as butter. The other one, because it was 25 hertz, the menu system wasn't great. This is 60 hertz. It's quick. The buttons are very, very responsive. Boots up in no time. I like that indexer. The only problem is I know with the Rico RH50 V2 we had some issues with this indexer.
Which is a quick fix.
It's a quick fix. It's a software glitch, but it's. I didn't have any issues with it. Hopefully it's been resolved. Because not only are we getting this, I was hoping to have it for today, but we don't. We're going to get an RL42 V2.
Yeah, the old famous RL42.
Man, that was probably... I mean, it was one of the first thermal scopes that we sold on the market. This is before you were working with us. And it's probably one of the most successful scopes we've had in terms of customer retention, keeping it and not upgrading. and for shooting foxes.
Yeah.
That thing was amazing. Been a long time since that scope's been 4 or 5 years old now. So now to get the RL42 V2
Good to see it back.
and the RH50 V2,
Yeah.
it's going to be a nice lineup in this Nocpix line. I'm actually really excited to see the RL42 V2.
That's going to be a killer, I reckon.
It will be a really, really nice scope. Do you have anything else you want to add about this? It does come with an eye cut, but I don't bother putting it on because the eye relief is just so good. There's just no need to.
It's 80 mil,
I think it's 90 mil.
90 mil eye relief.
It's a lot of eye
Yeah.
relief. You could almost stand back at home and watch it from,
Yeah,
you know, a
why
kilometre away.
not?
It is, the eye relief on that is amazing. Yeah, available for pre-order or when you watch
When
the
do you
pre-order,
reckon
have
we'll
these
get them in stock?
I don't know.
I was telling jokes, sorry.
I know. When do you reckon we're going to get our Nocpix 1280 Aces in stock? December last year it was, wasn't it?
No comment.
Anyway, no comment. We have these on order, but be patient if you want one.
Please
great.
be patient.
All right, let's talk about some other stuff. Now, we're going to keep continuing, and it's going to be a little bit of a theme for a couple of weeks and a bit of a series. Last week we talked about, last episode we talked a little bit about remote mounting options.
Yes, brushed on remote mounting.
We brushed on remote mounting options in terms of hardware.
Yeah.
Alternatives to running expensive wraparound mount brackets and things like that, okay? And we're going to explore a little more because actually we got a fair few conversations.
Yeah, we got a lot
of.
out of that, yeah.
Those rim top mounts, they disappeared.
Yeah, we
They
sold them.
just went boom, like that, right? For those PowerB rim top mounts. And we've got a lot of questions about it. And then we also get a lot of questions about, do I want a Wi-Fi or do I want a hardwire? Okay. I'm 100% I want a Wi-Fi.
Yeah, me too. I was a hardwire boy, solely hardwire.
Yep.
And then, yeah.
Well, let's talk about the reasons. And let's grab a couple of different units. Grab your tablet. Grab a screen. I'm going to grab a handle to help kind of demonstrate this a little bit. Oh, we'll grab the handle in a minute. It's a little bit bulky. Next week, on our next episode, hopefully our next episode, we're going to be talking about different ways of mounting without having to drill into your roof as well. So, there are pros and cons to each of this, all right? And I don't know if it's necessarily one is...
This is a con right here.
Actually, it's seriously, if you want a remote mount, hardwiring to me is full of cons. Now, we're going to take some footage of this unit and this app and through the iPad. We'll take it outside and overlay it. So, you know, we're probably watching it now to help demonstrate this. When you hardwire, there's a few things. One, you're going to lose image quality.
You are.
It downgrades the image quality. I mean, look,
Well,
it depends on
in
the
a
unit.
way, yes, depending
It depends
on
on the
the
unit,
unit,
okay? We'll demonstrate it with this HIC Micro Condor. The Falcon, because this Falcon is much clearer over the app
the 5G.
than it is over here, okay? Because it's digital out and it's hardwired. Now, if you go down to something like this screen,
Yep.
and you know, and they're lower resolution screens as well, you're going to get less quality.
Yeah.
The only one I would say that kind of holds its own is over hardwire is this one because it's HDMI out.
Still the king of hardwire, the Finder.
The Finder is really good for HDMI out, and actually if you Wi-Fi this one, you'll actually get less.
Yeah, you lose about 20% of image quality, I'd say.
You do, because the Wi-Fi on this one, when they released it, they're trying to transport too much information over its bandwidth, and we're just getting lagging and dropping out, okay? We don't see that in the Thermtech and the Vista.
No.
We get near same quality you're looking at in the screen, you're getting HD back over Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So for me, these two, when people want a remote mount, you know, and they want a Wi-Fi and stuff, we're going to
They're
these
the
units,
kings of
okay?
Wi-Fi,
They don't drop out. The Wi-Fi is absolutely bulletproof. But what you don't have to deal with is all these cables, okay?
This is an easy way around too. Like, I mean, the new Falcon Condor series, you don't need to run the little USB hub. You can just run one cable, but it won't charge it like we mentioned last week.
Yeah.
But hardwiring, going from, you know, running two cables, a monitor and that.
Well, the other issue too with hardwiring is, let me grab that cable and throw in this Thermtech just for an example, because I've got the Picatinny bracket on here, okay? Now, you can't actually hardwire a Thermtech device. Whether that changes in a firmware update, I don't know. And the bracket's not quite wide enough for the pick rail. Oh. All these things that you don't test before you actually, go to air. Okay. So if I plug this wire into the side here, and say I just wanted to charge it, all right? And this spotlight handle sitting up above my roof, one thing I've got to be really, really mindful of is my direction.
Yeah.
And swing it around, because it's super easy to tie these cables up, because they're going to be coming down to a fixed point. It doesn't matter what solution you use. If you've got a hardwired cable, whether it be, power's a little bit different because you can run a power bank actually attached to this whole bracket system.
That's what I used to do.
Yeah, so it's not actually interfering. But if you're running a cable back down to your car, you've got to be mindful of
Looping around.
And we get that feedback a fair bit where people actually start with hardwiring, because it's cheaper to buy this than it is an iPad.
Yes.
And then they get the frustration of, I spent all this money on these mounting systems and these wraparound light stuff with all these cables, and I'm just wrapping cables up everywhere. So it's, because maybe their kids are out with them in the ute. It's a little bit different if you're a sole shooter and you've probably got an idea where you're pointing.
Yeah.
But, your passenger who may just be a passenger.
It's all fun and games. So they rip the only cable for the night, and then you're done.
The other thing too is, with the vibration going through these cables all the time, we have seen it a fair bit across multiple brands where these ports are getting knocked around and out, and they're having to come back under warranty, and they are a warranty item as well, where the ports stop working. We've seen that a fair bit when you start hardwiring it and put vibration through it. So for me, I'm 100% Wi-Fi.
12 months ago, even 8 months ago, I would have said hardwire any day of the week. The image quality, no one's got Wi-Fi image quality. And then when Thermtech came out with the Wild, it's just blown it out the water.
Yeah, 100%.
I won't forget the first night we used it.
The other thing you get too is, when you are hardwired into a tablet or into a screen, you lose the functionality of the actual unit.
Everything.
Now, you can have it Wi-Fi to your phone and use it like a remote control. But if you just want to quickly change a color palette, activate a rangefinder, change your brightness and contrast because your conditions are training and so on. You can't do that when it's hardwired, because there's no connectivity between them. There's no talking between them. It's just a single, straight down the line. It's hardwired.
Or you're jumping on the roof, clicking buttons.
Yeah.
It's just, it's annoying.
It is quite annoying.
Where thermals are at the moment, I think Wi-Fi's got it any day of the week.
Yeah, I do too.
And obviously you've got to remember, every connection's different, different for different vehicles. For instance, in my Range, I've got heaps of cables through the roof, but I always do the same things: turn the radio off, UHF off, try to eliminate any source of interference, and we get a really good signal. We don't have dropouts at all.
We don't have dropouts. We never had to pull fuses or anything like that out of these devices.
Yeah.
We were out of some of the older devices, where Wi-Fi wasn't working as well. But out of the Vista and the Thermtechs, we're not pulling fuses. We're not, we don't. And everyone talks about how it's all got to be 5G Wi-Fi. It doesn't. It doesn't. The Thermtech's is 2.4G, and it's the best Wi-Fi we've had.
That's still my favourite roof mount unit.
Yeah, it's unreal. I love the Vista, the 1280 that we had on the roof.
That was good fun. But the 650 though, there's something about it.
We took the 1280 out harvesting the other night too. And you had my merger Binos 1280s.
Oh yeah, I had the XCs.
And I had the Vista 1280. I get to find it really, really hard not to keep using that Vista 1280.
Sometimes it's nice to just go something.
We might talk about that one a bit more next week and put some footage up.
Yeah.
Not just small, just the image quality on it is just mind-blowing.
We can probably loop it into this video talking about monoculars, because technically it is remote mountable.
Yeah, but I don't have any real video footage of it.
Oh, guess we're going to have to go shooting again.
We're going to have to go shooting again. So that's just a little bit more on our thoughts about all of this, remote mounting and stuff anyway. Personally, stay away from cables. It's going to give you a headache.
It's going to cause you grief. I mean, this new system from, Hick Micro with the single cord relaying back to a tablet is cool. I really like that.
I do too.
Because, you've got your 2560. This is a 2560 display, 4K display.
But
and you can get away with running cable.
But the image quality still drops.
Yeah.
As we've demonstrated, compared to Wi-Fi.
So you got like your pros and cons. One cable to run this, you lose a bit of image quality. Finder, amazing image quality, hardwired, but you have to run external monitor.
The cable problem probably isn't as bad on a spotlight handle as it might be as opposed to like a spider bot.
Oh yeah.
Where you're using a remote control.
Well, you've got no feel.
Because you've got no feel,
you can
right?
feel when it grabs.
To loop it around and grab it. So it's probably not quite as bad on the spotlight handle on terms of that. Next episode we'll actually talk more about mounting without drilling a hole through your roof. The different options, because like we got heaps of ones. So like this is the power strut, for instance, that just sits within your window. This compresses down and actually sits in your window.
And this is adjustable down.
And it's adjustable up and down, right? So that's a cool way to do it. We've got ones that will mount off your roof rack. Side by sides.
Ones that go around the sill on your car.
Yeah, correct.
Just around the door jamb. Sorry,
the lone shooter complete setup. So we'll talk about that a little bit more in our next episode, because we're hoping to have something back in stock by then, possibly, that we filmed a little episode the other day, which we're going to be inserting. And if we do, it'll be a good little episode to demonstrate all that anyway, tie it all together. And then I think we'll almost be done with the remote mounting stuff.
We will. Then we'll be on
back in everything else.
Yeah, might have a few guns to showcase.
Yeah, FX have introduced another
2 new guns we haven't talked about.
FX. Well, the Darius Tactical is just a chassis system. That's not.
It's cool.
It's cool, but it's not new. Like in terms of the platform, it's not new.
It's still DRS.
It's just DRS, right? They've introduced the Leopard.
The what? Cheetah.
Oh my gosh! I don't know why they've done it. We don't need another. Don't need another one. They're SKUs. Oh my gosh! What do we got? We've got these are all current. Panthera.
Yep.
And then Panthera, you've got the Hunter. And you've got the standard. You've got the Crown in the Continuum.
Yep.
The GRS stock.
Yep.
Synthetic.
Yep.
The Dreamline.
Yep. Dreamline
Walnut. You've got the DRS in a couple of different configurations and stocks. There's only one FX Mark IV in copper or black. Different barrel lengths.
Different barrel lengths,
But there's no. The lineup is just so flipping big.
Yeah, it's huge.
A lot
of versatility to cover, everyone's needs.
You got the Maverick. I think the Leopard will replace the Maverick.
You've got the King.
You got the
Dynamic.
The King and the Dynamic and the Panthera all share the exact same block. They're just different configurations and where the bottle is and the stock as well, right? But they're 3 different rifles.
Yeah.
It is very confusing. Anyway, so now we're going to get the Leopard as well. I mean, we love FX. I'm sure it's going to be great, but it's like, I don't know.
Let's have a break for a bit.
Yeah, stop releasing new stuff. Let it settle down and do all the other stuff that we've got.
It has been a big, I'd say a big 4 to 6 months in releases. There's a lot of new gear coming.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of, quality of life stuff too. Hicks, stuff like that.
Well, and even in firearms, we've seen the Riga Gen 2s come out. We've got a new Mauser coming. We've got a new Blaser shotgun coming. We've got a new Hardy rifles coming. There's, even in the rifle traditional space, the 505 platform, as well from Sauer, which we're just starting to kind of see continuation of stock.
Bagara barreled actions.
Well, they've been around for a while, but there's a new Bagara 22. I think it is, in 17, and then Carbon 2, whatever it is.
I get lost.
I don't know, I get lost as well. But there's a lot to think about and talk about. So maybe we'll get back into more of them, so once we've done more of this remote mounting stuff. Anyway, I think that's about it from us, isn't it?
Yeah.
Guys, we hope you've had a good a week as we had. And
it's not over yet?
No, but we do look forward to talking to you all soon. Nice t-shirt. Can we get them?
Sponsored by Huntsman Optics.
Thanks, Travis.
Thanks, Trav. Hooking a brother up.
2.0. Yeah, we'll have to we'll get any more of them. But anyway. All right, guys, that is about it. We will catch you on the next one.
Next week. Lock it in, Eddie.
Or in 2 weeks.
Next week.
Or just depends on when we post this.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you then. Thanks.